It's that time again to answer some important questions from viewers. So let's get started with this right now. I'm Tom KVICHAK, and this is Tom's Trains and Things. This channel was created to help other modelers who are in need of guidance in pursuing their dream of building a model railroad. And I get a lot of questions and comments in the comments section of my videos all the time and in emails. And I like to answer them here for you since you don't get a chance to see them all if you saw the video up front at the very beginning when they were first posted. It's been over 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks since I did the last Q&A, so it's time to start doing one now. I went back on the comments for about the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I ended up with about 32 of them that I need to answer. So what I think I'm going to do is divide this in half, do one now, and then do one next week also. And maybe by that time I'll have some more to answer to add on to that one too. So right after this, we'll get started with it. If you would like to learn more about what it takes to build your model railroad, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, ding that bell, and that'll notify you whenever I have a new video coming out. So let's start with these answers right now. The first two questions I'm going to cover is from the ESU tester video that I did, and from Frank Whittle. He asked, do you find a lot of faulty decoders? And what I said to him is no. In fact, that was the first bad decoder that I ever had. And I think what happened was I've had that one for 2 years, and I've been taking it in and out of the package so many times. I probably did something to it sometime in the past 2 years while I was playing around with it. But anyway, the second one is from Will King, and on the ESU tester, he says, or on the connector where you attach the wires for that, he has wires already connected to it with color-coded alligator clips on there to make it a little bit easier. So if you have a decoder, you just take the alligator clips and clip it on to wherever you need it. And that is a good suggestion right there, Will. Thank you very much for that. The next two questions are from the video Easy Soldering of DCC Feeder Wires. And the first one comes from Charlie Wilderness. And he says, what kind of soldering machine do you use? Well, I went over it very briefly in the last soldering video, and it is an Xtronic. Sometime this month, I'm going to do a little demonstration of it. I know I showed you how I was soldering with it, but I didn't really show you the features that were on there. Okay, the next one is from an old issue from maybe 2 months ago, PATRON 69, and he was having an issue with his PR3 and not being able to do anything with JMRI. This went on for a long time, and he finally wrote back to me. He said he found a solution, and what he did, he went out and bought a DCS 240, and that solved all his problems, because all you have to do is plug in the it has an interface built right into it, so you just plug in your cable to it and it hooks right up to JMRI. So that took care of his problem. I guess he was just having an issue with the port or something on the PR3, but I'm glad you finally got it taken care of there. Now I have one from the double pole, double throw switch video, and it comes from Feria Boots. And he wanted to know, how do I incorporate a kill switch using a motor? And I think what he's talking about is he wants to go up so far and bring it up with pulleys, like a crane or something, bring it up with pulleys, and once you get to the top, stop, and then be able to come back down, and once you get to the lower half, stop. Now that's a little bit complicated. You could do that manually with the double pole, double throw switch, doing that just by stopping it when you're up at the top and then reversing it and going down. But if you want to get automated and put a switch in there at the top so it would automatically stop, and the only way you would be able to go is reverse, then I'll be able to show you that, but it's a little bit complicated and I'll have to get out the whiteboard, but I'm gonna make a video on that to show you how you could automatically reverse something. Now it doesn't automatically reverse it, but when it gets to the top, it'll stop it. Just like on a crane, you use your push button, up push button goes all the way up, and it doesn't let you go all the way up to the top and it'll stop. And if you try to hit that push button when you're at the top, it's not going to go. All you could hit is down and it'll come down. And that's what I'm going to show you in a video coming up in the next month. Okay, this next one is from the Easy Power Supply, where I showed you how to hook up or how to take all the wires out of it and hook it up so you could use it on your workbench or on your model railroad. And this is from Kurt Bunting. It says, a little too technical for non-techies. Well, Kurt, that's the reason why I do it, to explain it to you. And I put it into the simplest terms that I can, so you will be able to use these devices. And that's it. John Ranson wrote in and he says, do you think it's all right to splice 2 feet of wire onto the just plug-ins for Woodland Scenics? And what he's talking about are these things right here. And I told him I don't see why not, because they even make extension cords for these. And if you wanted to, you just go in there and you just splice in whatever you want. If you're ever at Hobby Lobby, check this out, because they normally go for $9.99 and they're selling them for $3.59. Twice I went to a Hobby Lobby in Naples and one in Fort Myers, and I picked up a lot of these. Now they're LED. This one's orange. I got red, and I think there was another color in there that they're having trouble selling, so they put them on sale. And I got one of the controllers for it also for, I think, $5 or something like that. I got a ton of these for $3.59. Next time you're at Hobby Lobby, go check the clearance place. They usually put them way in the corner. Oh yeah, here they go. The light hub and auxiliary switch. Now, how much did I pay for it? $3.59 for the auxiliary switch and $3.59 for the light hub. I thought I paid $5 for it, but they were $3.59 also. Now, this one is from John Grove, and he wrote in, what video camera do you use? Okay, now, most of the time, what I'm filming on right here is my Galaxy S8. It's a cell phone, and the reason I do that, it has the best quality over every other camera that I have. I have 2 Nikon Coolpix that I do when we're out. This one here, this is a prosumer model. It's an NEX5 that I use. I have to put it in manual focus. Now that takes a lot of time, so that I can't get quick shots out of it. And then we use the Nikon for that. But the only problem with the last time I used the Nikon, I was having trouble with the MOV files. I also use a Galaxy S3 and a Galaxy Tab Pro for videos. And on here I have, you can see this right here, it's a Logitech. This is the 920. And I have 2 more of them, another 920 and a 925 that I have. And this one right here, this is a Microsoft LifeCam. This is the very first high-def webcam that I got. And I got this a long time ago, and they still make the same one. This is 1280 by 720, and I used to do my at the workbench. I had this pointing down when I was doing some of the older videos of at the workbench. Now, the very first videos that I did was with an old Canon HV30, Vixia HV30 that took tape, and it just started getting too expensive to keep on buying new tapes, so I quit using that. But right now, this one here, the Galaxy S8, is the best. I mean, if I flip this around and use the other side of it, I could do 4K at 30 frames per second. I can't do 60 frames. I could do 1080p at 60 frames, but not 4K. But this one here is the best that I have out of everything. And this is my backup right here. I like using this, and I'm using this right now on the overhead. And Bobby Davis asked, where do you get those t-shirts? He said, I noticed you wear a lot of different railroad t-shirts. Now this one here, the one with my logo on it, I got this through Spreadshirt, and I'll put a link down in there. You could purchase them, Tom's Trains and Things there, or you could purchase your own there. And the other ones I get from Rebel Rail at train shows, and some other ones that you'll see from the Rio Grande route, and some other ones I got at the actual museum or the railroads. When I was doing a video on the red and green LED, bicolor LED, Chesco wrote in and said, you know, if this is what I heard, if you flash the red and green back fast enough, you'll get yellow. And I says, you're absolutely right. I don't know how fast it is, but if you flash them back and forth, the red and green will look like it's yellow. So thank you, Chuck. And retired 2009 Goss asked me, what kind of power strips do I use on my layout? Well, I can't pull up any because they're all attached right now, but I use a lot of Belkin. They have like they're the straight strips, long straight strips would have about 6 receptacles on it. I have one of those old Belkin things that you used to put underneath your monitor, and it has little push buttons on it that I control everything from right here, and I have everything plugged into that, and I have extra strips plugged into them. I have a strip over here for the computer that I just put here. That I used to have it in my office, and I have a strip back here for my overhead lights, and I use this in case I have to plug anything else in there. So I have 1, 2, 3, actually 4 strips that I plug into here for power distribution all through my layout. And the last question I'm going to do on this one here is from Andrew Thoreau. I think it is. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And he asked, who did the icon drawing? When I did the 2 videos on there, I had the links in there where you could click on in the card and at the end on the end screen. And I think I failed to put it in the description, but I'll put it in the description here. It's Z-Art, Z-A, capital Z-A, R-T Works, Zart Works. You know, he helped me out by drawing that for me, and I helped him out with his doing a shout out for him and gave him a few tips here and there in the creator community. And the creator community is no longer there. It's read only right now, and February 28th, it's not going to be there anymore. So if you want to go find out something, go to my channel, Tom KVICHAK. I do videos there about YouTube and growing your channel on YouTube. Since creator community isn't there anymore, I have a lot more time that I'm not spending there. I could do the videos on there and teach creators, new YouTubers, how to get started and how to build their channel up so they could get the subscribers and the view time that they need. So go check that out if you want to see how to do that. I got 4 videos on there now. I'm about to put another one up there this week, so that'll make 5. So check that out, Tom KVICHAK. That's all the questions for now, and I'll put the rest of them up next Wednesday. So we'll see you.